It started a few years ago when a few of us came across some kids in a church porch, and it was a dark night, and I'd actually just seen a documentary on county lines, and these children were only sort of about 10 or 11 hanging out in a cold night. And I just thought they seemed so vulnerable, and I got chatting to them and they just said, we just want somewhere to go. And so I really kind of foolishly said, oh, well, let's think about setting up a youth club. And from then on, that's what we tried to do. Some young people who suffer trauma at a young age, apparently the clinical evidence is that part of their brain becomes damaged, so that as they get older, they just cannot manage their emotions. The clinical research shows that with some positive experiences and a lot of sort of support and encouragement, the brain can heal. We had a boy come to us, he'd been excluded from school, he was always turning up, he would climb onto the roof of the community hall, his language was appalling, he couldn't read or write, and we just kept welcoming him. And this volunteer came up to me and she was absolutely buzzing with excitement, and she said, "You're not going to believe this." She said, I asked, and I'll call him John, I asked John to pick up a bit of sausage roll that I saw him drop on the floor, on the carpet. And I said, can you just pick that up before someone treads in it? And she said, not only did he pick it up, he put it in the bin. Now that kind of to normal people sounds really trivial, but actually for us that was huge, absolutely huge. And it's these little wins that we see and we hang on to and really do inspire us.
We were invited to a stakeholder event where everyone in the community that had an interest in the youth club came along, and that included ourselves, local councillors, the MP, but most importantly the parents and families of the young people who attend the youth club, and seeing the collaboration around that table, trying to solve some problems in real time, and hearing their story, you know, why the youth club was important to them, was really key. And we all left that stakeholder event enthusiastic, passionate about what the whole process was going to bring about for Thirsk.
You know, you have to have good governance, particularly if you're a charity and you're applying for funding. And certainly Community First Yorkshire helped in that respect. You know, if we've got any issues with our policies or anything, all of that is fabulous support. But also, Community First Yorkshire did put me in touch with a sort of mentoring programme, and that was absolutely fantastic. And she was able to guide me, advise me, give me ideas, and also actually just calm me down. You know, she would sort of say, look, don't try and do everything at once, you know, take small steps, take a deep breath. And I can remember saying to her, I don't know what I'd do without you. So that was absolutely fantastic, and I'd recommend that to anybody.
Well, sometimes youth organisations don't really know where to turn. They're struggling sometimes to get off the ground, and they just need an impartial viewpoint from someone like Community First Yorkshire, where we can offer a critical ear, critical friend if you like, but also put in that guidance. So it was great to sit down with Jill and some of her other volunteers to look at the broader reach and the potential for the youth club across Thirsk.
It makes me quite proud of them, proud of my team. I think really it just reinforces the sense that I have that everybody essentially is born good. It's when you see elements of people's character that just really warm your heart, and yeah, I just love that. That makes me glow inside.